my soul embraces and desperately wants us to move into the new age, the new energies. This has just been really, really hard for so many people. There is no solid ground. There are no solid systems that we can count on anymore. So where do we go from here? What do we need to do? How do we take care of ourselves in this time of tremendous turmoil and shock and confusion? I want to remind you that things are not as they seem, and that we really do need to keep the faith. Hello, my beautiful friends. I'm so glad to be speaking with you again. As I move forward with my little message to you, I want to thank you all for clicking on this video and ask you to please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. That helps me to build my channel. And also to visit CatherineAstrology.com. That is my new website, and my astrological consultations are listed there, plus past videos. Okay, so having gotten that stuff out of the way, I want to spend a little bit of time and just talk with you. The last time I recorded was the third week of October. I pre-recorded my election video, and then the generational healing video, and the super full moon, Taurus full moon conjunct Uranus video on July 15th. And the last week of October, I became very ill. That continued until just about 3-4 days ago, when we finally were able to stabilize and I was able to start to heal again. I also want to mention I am an intuitive, and I do stand by my predictions along with so many other astrologers. Those predictions were well researched, and there are things that are about to be revealed around the election that may totally change the outcome. We'll see. It's a choice. It's going to be a choice whether our government will expose this. So hang in there, keep the faith, see the vision of what we want to have as our future, not what happened on election day in the United States 2024. I also want to let you know that some of the things that have been going on, and particularly the day after, let me say this, I was already kind of in a weakened state, and the day after the election, I knew, I had kind of intuitively felt all day long that something was very wrong. And then I didn't watch the election coverage. I just thought, I can't do that to myself. I'm not feeling well. So I went to bed, I did sleep, woke up very early. When I got the news of the election results, I had such a shock physically go through my body. And I think, I'm an empath. I wasn't just feeling the shock of my own sense of shock at the election, and that something is very, very wrong. But I was picking up on the collective shock, and that took almost another week to release from my body, to be able to breathe, to meditate, to ground myself. And just it was a very powerful week where I had to focus on my own physical body to stabilize. In the process then of having this time where I couldn't record, there were huge reactions in the astrology community as well as in the psychic medium tarot community, and there were many attacks on all of us. Not so many on me. I don't think, I'm still fairly new in YouTube. But this has just been really, really hard for so many people and such a shock. But I would tell you, the more that I was able to pull back, the more that I was able to research and really reevaluate, re-look at my own work, my own research of the US chart and all of the candidates' charts. And it caused me to pause. And once I finally, I've had about 3 days of moving toward stopping the symptoms that I was having and beginning to heal this past week. I also started receiving messages again, which happened for me often in the early morning hours before I wake up. And my mind was going, oh, wait a minute. Pluto went into Aquarius for 2 months in 23. I believe it was March and April, and by May, he retrograded back into Capricorn. And what I was shown was that was when a lot of the collaboration began to happen and collaboration related to the hacking of our election, the satellite and computer hacking. Pluto moving into Aquarius, I really, truly, and many astrologers embrace the energy that this is of the future. This is of Pluto moving into creating balance in relationships to all things. And it's heralding, it'll take us about 10 years of a lot of very fast-paced change, but it heralds the new age and the golden age as it's being promised, which is a 25,000-year age. And then he retrograded into Capricorn the rest of 23, so it was all business as usual, government as usual, shenanigans as usual. As he moved into early January of 24, through the 1st of September, he moved back into Aquarius again. Pluto's energies are of abuse of power, money, sexuality in whatever the arena is, the energy he's traveling through. And when he's traveling through Aquarius, one of the areas that he empowers, or there's hidden or secret things going on, and there's going to be a need to expose the abuses, would be the internet and technology, the satellites, the use of these in order to block or stop any kind of progressive movement in happening. So January 1st, they began in earnest looking at all the ways, and there are many, many, many ways that this election was hacked. Many different governments, many of our own oligarchs, our own governors and states, there are many that will be implicated again if this information comes out. So this will be our first big taste of how AI, how Russia has essentially, and again, this is for entertainment only, and these are my opinions. They are certainly known for hacking elections and throwing elections to install the people that they want to destroy democracies. My soul embraces and desperately wants us to move into the new age, the new energies. And I forgot, so I apologize for that. I forgot. I knew that there could be shenanigans. I knew that there could be, because elections have been interfered with since the 60s in this country, and our government, the Democratic Party or the opposite party, Republican Party, don't want to air that dirty laundry because they want to protect the U.S. as the leader in the world, right? And I also started to get a sense in my dream the other morning that in many ways, a large portion of the Democratic Party are corporate Democrats. They have embraced the trickle-down economics. They have embraced corporate power. There is a pretty large contingency of progressives in the House of Representatives. And my hero, and I will be honest, this is, again, my perspective, my personal opinion, is I very much support Bernie Sanders and democratic socialism. There are countries like Mondragon, I believe it's Mondragon, Italy, that are the whole city area is considered a worker-owned society. And that involves workers in decisions, that involves in the profit sharing, that involves the whole communities, all the cities that are embracing this worker-owned type of business model as opposed to the capitalistic model. And capitalism is not evil unless it's totally unregulated. Our our country, our laws have been eroded since the 80s, possibly since the 60s. And so here we are. Here we are at this time where it was so blatant, it was so flagrant, and it is such a shock to the majority of the people in this country. And there's a bigger majority than what the media that is owned by oligarchs, and most of the media oligarchs supported Donald Trump. It's a much higher percentage of people, educated people, uneducated people, but they have hearts and they've worked hard, they followed the rules, and our country has ignored them. Our government has ignored them. I'm getting a little deeper into the political weeds than what I had wanted to do for this short little video. Anyway, I just wanted to address that. And so where do we go from here? What do we need to do? How do we take care of ourselves in this time of tremendous turmoil and shock and confusion? I've thought a lot about that as well. And I do feel like in assessing, just sitting and being with these energies of the past few weeks, I decided that it was really important to get a sense of where are the energies right now and how do we deal with this? So part of the where are we and how do we deal with this requires first coming to a place of understanding. There is no solid ground. There are no solid systems that we can count on anymore. That truly the work that needs to happen, for the most part, we have to start with ourselves. And in that process, going inside and really coming to a very grounded place and trusting that you know what you know. Trust your gut, trust your intuition, trust those intuitive hits, those aha moments that are coming to you. And simplify your life. Simplifying, doing less and being more, taking time to slow down and conserving your energy, conserving financially, conserving on whatever levels that you can, because we're in for a pretty unpredictable period for the next 20 years, but the next 5 months is really going to be an unstable time. Find your friends, find your family of origin or family of choice. Gather with those that are similar in your values, and when you can, most important thing for us to not do is to go into fear. We need to go into peace. We need to acknowledge what just happened, the outcome of that. If we are motivated, if our vote did not get counted, we need to be contacting the government to say, I voted, but my vote wasn't counted. If you are motivated to join marches and protest and join groups that will contact the government and ask for recounts, ask for whatever we need to do, there are options for Joe Biden. And those there have been people, experts in the field of cybersecurity, experts in government, that are mostly where I've seen it. I don't watch traditional media anymore, any of it. The only one I would watch would be Democracy Now! Because they're owned by the people. Amy Goodman and Juan Gonzalez and their crew are in great integrity and working with investigative journalists who are also in great integrity. So I'll give them a plug at this point. But there's also comparable people of experts in their areas, whether it's attorneys or whether it's government officials, that are on YouTube. Trust your intuition when you listen to that. So it's a matter of, if you're needing news, check out what's going on YouTube, because they do have some people that are very much in integrity, and you can get news information, and particularly what's going on around the world, because we're not the only ones that were and are impacted by this election hack, the interference. Coming to a place of making sure that you're taking care of yourself, you're resting, you're doing what you can, and then just wait, because we did our part. Women did vote. I heard excuses on the media, the after election analysis where what did the Democrats do wrong? And it seems to only be Democrats that do anything wrong. And that women didn't vote in the numbers they thought, and the youth didn't vote. And, there were all kinds of shenanigans there where their votes weren't counted. But minorities voted for Trump, or they, so there were lots and lots of, after the election, opinions thrown out immediately in the mainstream media. And I wouldn't give them any validity. Women voted, and it is to even consider the fact that women didn't vote. There were fewer women votes than in 2020 is just beyond belief, especially since Roe v. Wade was overturned in 22. It is up to our government at this point, and they will either finally act on the election interference and the voter purges, and they're on it. And then, at the bottom, the final decision is on Biden. The global community can expose and can give us the information, but he has to decide whether we're going to challenge this or not. And the frightening part that I hope, and I'm going to try to stay out of, the energy of going into fear. Because what I know to be true in all my spiritual teachings is that obviously it was going to take this kind of action, this kind of a global event to wake up the population. And if those of us that voted, we did our part. We did what we could by saying, we do not want this. We do not want a dictator. We do not want a fascist state. We want our democracy, and we want to improve on it. So this is the rebirth time. And in the U.S. chart, I also mentioned in the election analysis, in the U.S. chart, we're approaching that we are in the middle of the Chiron return. And we are approaching the Uranus return, the shock and awe return, coming up in the next year. I think it's the next year, maybe 2 years in the U.S. chart. I'll have to look again. But it's still going to be a bit of an e-ticket ride on the roller coaster. And so we have to ground ourselves. And I'm going to wrap this up at this point, but I am going to be recording a number of videos in the next few weeks, and we'll be on, hopefully we get my new technology, my new camera and microphone all figured out. They are much better than my little GoPro here, but I will be doing recordings. I am going to be doing the Astrology series. I am going to be doing generational healing series, because that is also critical at this time to shift us from the old paradigms, the old third dimension, into the fifth dimension of love and compassion and joy. We've had a hard, traumatic, at least 8 to 10 years with the daily assaults, that have been going on with Donald Trump and his band of merry men. And then I'm going to do a third series where I talk about my own healing processes and healing journey and natural healing. So that'll be an additional thing. I am a breast cancer survivor. I have healed myself through nutrition. Lots of supplements and high-dose IV vitamin C and other nutrients. I've done tremendous detox and then rebuilding my body on a cellular basis. And I was metastatic breast cancer, stage 4, level 3, one of the most aggressive, and I'm still here. I never lost my hair. And for the most part, I've worked, and I am a 12-year survivor. I expect that I will be around another 20 years. And I'm not an anomaly. I am an anomaly in my family. Let's put it that way. My family, I was born and raised in Texas, and was raised in the military. So we traveled all over. And I have already lost most of my family, immediate family. Over 30 people have, over the last 20 years, have died from cancer. of some kind, living in very toxic areas of Texas, downriver from Austin. In an agricultural country, and lots of pesticides, lots of military support to burn off fields and things like that. So I've lost 2 brothers, my mother, my grandmother, my grandfather, my father, and then a whole plethora of cousins and what have you. So I want to talk about how we, and particularly as women, but how we take our power back and how we reconnect with nature, which is part of generational healing too, to heal our bodies naturally. The plants and the animals, the birds, the critters, we are all connected. And that toxic drugs, are not the solution. And, I'll spend some time talking about that. I have worked with a number of people to help them understand, my process, and my process isn't going to be for everyone. I've had a number of people that, when it came to doing Gerson therapy, they're like, oh no, there's no way I'm, because it was vegan, it was all organic, vegan, and juicing, and they just said, oh yeah, I can't do it. And so yeah, I've worked very hard to stay on the planet because I have been an astrologer for 40 years. And, I knew that this time was coming and I wanted to be part of it. So please, if this resonates with you, please subscribe to my YouTube, click the like button. I do need to really stay focused and consistent about getting YouTubes out. It is my passion. It is what I believe I'm here for. As a soul, I've prepared my whole life for this, and I am here for you. So I will wrap this up by saying, please, please, please take care of yourself and keep the faith. Things are not as they seem. And hold the vision. Please, please, please hold the vision of seeing us moving into this loving, balanced, golden age that is coming up. That is our promise at this time. There's not much that we can do. Karma, the one piece I would say, Saturn turned direct on the 15th. Karma is happening. Pluto is direct. Saturn is direct. Neptune's going to go direct in December. We have Mercury retrograde and Mars retrograde, which actually will be supporting recounts, really investigations, looking into things, and that won't be complete. Mercury goes direct mid-month December. Mars will be retrograde for about 3.5 months. So I wouldn't expect, we may not have an inauguration in January if the election is called and there is enough proof. It will be international proof that will come. If they do go that route, then, we will not see, the presidency. We may have a recount. We may have a re-election. I doubt that will happen, but, who knows? Anyway, just know that karma is working and that these kinds of evil manipulations and abuses of power will not continue. They will not have energetic support in years to come. And this is a big heads up for us to demand as a people that our satellite, our internet, that those things maybe need to be not owned by oligarchs, and that there need to be some pretty major protections put in for the people. So hold the vision, keep the faith, take care of yourself, and I will be seeing you again soon. Thank you for listening.